Which tarot and oracle set do you think I will pick this month? I want to shout out to the channels that I've been watching in April: Debbie's Witchy Vlog, Witchy Wallflower, Essence of the Moon, Tarot Magpie, Asteria Sun, Feeding My Soul 1212, Craggy Brook Witchery, Moon Mama 17, Coyote Tarot, and Shanna D. Hello, welcome to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul. This is my monthly wrap-up of Tarot and Oracle decks that I use for the month of April. This is my deck of the month and deck of the year video, VR. So I use a different deck and different Oracle cards with each week. I started out the month of April with the Bee Tarot by Christopher Hughes, artwork by Nadia Turner. I love this packaging. When you open it up, you have this quote: "Did the bees understand the mysteries of the druids, or did the bees perhaps give them access to those mysteries?" And then it looks like a honeycomb, and you have bees on the inside. I like that there isn't a tuck box within this. That is like my new biggest pet peeve. The cards are linen, which is phenomenal. I love a good linen deck. And the cards are just stunningly beautiful. Rich in symbolism. Beautiful colors, beautiful artwork. I love her honeycomb skirt and the flowers in her hair and all these bees. And she's pouring honey from one cup to another. Just a beautiful temperance card. The book is also phenomenal. The attention to details and just how thick and chunky this book is. You have the full colored pictures. So you have the full color picture of the card. The hanged ones, you have buzzwords. And then you have upright and reversed. And it's really cool. It talks about the picture and what the picture represents. And it gives some history of bees. So like the British tradition of telling the bees calls for significant news to be relayed to them, particularly if someone dies. Failure to inform them may result in the hive swarming. Death represents leaving the old and moving into the new, a function that the bees do well when they swarm from their old home in search of a new one. It is often said that the death card represents transformation, when in fact it is the gateway to transformation. This is best described as a transitory card that points to a process that leads to eventual transformation. You will notice that the deck does not contain what is perceived as the opposite of death, birth. And for good reason, the death card contains birth within it. So I just really, really love that it gives a historical context about like superstitions or practices around bees and beekeeping. And the cards are really right on. I love the write-up to the cards. Now here we have the minor, and they didn't skimp. Usually on the minor, they'll just do like half a page and no picture. You still have a full page picture. The buzzword, and it's similar. You have a little story, and you have the upright and the reverse meaning. So this was the tarot deck I used. I used this independent Oracle, the High Desert Oracle card deck by Melissa McCain. And this is a 44 Oracle cards with 2 instruction cards. I got this off of Etsy. And it's photos. So here's the backs. And then you have, there's no book. It just says what the keyword is, a picture. She took a picture and then did like digital editing and then what the card represents. I love the desert in spring when the plants blossom. It is so gorgeous. I love the spring time in the desert. It is my favorite time here. I love this honeybee, so cute. Here's some blossoming cactus. I like the digital editing she added here to the sky. And then here are the 2 instruction cards. You have a welcome and instructions. So I'll just do a quick shuffle. I love the backs. Okay, so we got spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is an important aspect of a balanced life that should not be overlooked. Learning about and, more importantly, putting into action a regular spiritual practice will benefit you greatly. Do your research to find a path that resonates with you personally. So that's like a little sample of using this Oracle deck. And this week I did something different. I also used the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle. I love how tiny and cute these cards are. Absolutely love. I want to get a couple of these tattoos. Like, I want this tattooed on me. Let's look up the crow. So the little book is so cute too. I like that it lists the rune and then the animal it's associated with. Oh, it's not a crow. It is a raven. The highly intelligent raven is always alert, and like the god Odin's ravens, thought and memory, who are his eyes and ears out in the world, he is always collecting information. Flying high, he has clear sight over all. You can hear him calling out as he passes on messages of both good news and warning. Ansuz is the rune of Odin, of the divine breath of all creation, and is also called the messenger rune. In our reading, it brings a message of divine inspiration, creation, formation, and transformation. It indicates the strong presence of your ancestors and ancestral line. Ansuz represents the arrival of a revelation or insight. Language with all its uses and power is central to this rune. and then it gives in reverse, and then keywords and magical workings. So keywords are communication, insight, divine inspiration, order, true vision, magical workings. This rune holds powerful energies, so tread with caution. Use it to enhance spells, improve communication, and speed up the unfolding of events. And for workings that releases emotional, psychological, or energetic shackles, best done on the full moon. So I really enjoyed using these 3 decks together. I think they played really nicely with each other and piggybacked off of one another well. The second week of working with Tarot and Oracle, worked with the Herb Crafters Tarot. These are the backs of the cards. Now for me, this deck is for personal readings only. I would not personally give paid readings with this. I think it's gorgeous. It's lovely. I love the information provided. It's a great way to learn about herbs. This was written by Letitia Guthrie, artwork by Joanna Powell Colbert. We have dedication, acknowledgements, introduction, who is the herb crafter, about this deck, cards and correspondence, the major, the minor, and then you have, it's split up by the numbers, and then the daughters, warriors, mothers, and healers. Using this deck and connect with the herbs. You also have craft activities. So this is really good for personal workings, to learn about different herbs, how to use them in your everyday life. So for that, this is a great deck. However, I wouldn't really use it for divination purposes. It's definitely a very niche deck, and it's really for people who want to learn about herbs, which is great. And that's why I purchased this, because I have always been interested in working with herbs, but I don't work with herbs enough anymore. I used to be better about working with herbs and plant medicine and plant spirits, but I've kind of taken a step back. And then with this, I use the affirmation of the fairy cats. Here are the backs. They're so darling. So I love how playful the cats are, and the images are really great. And I'll read an excerpt for you. This is by Brenda June Sadek. So we have introduction, how to use this deck, the cards. We have inspiration cards, and then contemplation, celebration, bonus card contentment, and about the artist and author. Introduction, life is beautiful, magical, and full of wondrous, and full of wonderment. I love my beautiful, magical, wonderful life. So for inspiration, the first card is beauty. You have a mantra, I am the beautiful that is right for me. We all know that one person who radiates personality and charm. You want to be around them, and they light up a room when they walk in. They may not look like the fashionable ideal we see in the media, but their personalities shine through and make people feel happy in their presence. They're comfortable with themselves and appreciate their own individual sparkle. We're all beautiful, every single one of us, and it's our individuality that makes us so. So then you have activities for embracing your personal beauty, and then inspiration from nature. So examples are: be kind to yourself, stop striving for perfection, find your signature style, and just to make yourself happy. When you find that negative voice in your head saying you don't measure up, reply with the affirmation, I am the beautiful that is right for me. Inspiration from nature. Next time you're outside, look for something small that you find aesthetically pleasing that you can pick up and bring home with you. A pine cone, or unusually patterned rock, or a feather, acorn, seed pod, or anything else that catches your eye. Put it in an out-of-the-way nook, but somewhere you'll notice it often. As you glance at it throughout the day, remind yourself that true beauty is natural. True beauty is diverse. True beauty is free. Your beauty is individual, precious, and unique. A physical manifestation of the diversity of life. Celebrate that. So this is one of those decks that, because it has activities and affirmations, I think it's better to pull one card a week or even a month and work with the energies of the card. It's not really good for daily pulls because it's kind of like information overload, activity overload, at least for me. If you feel like you assimilate the information within a day, then awesome. You rock. So for me, this would be a weekly or monthly deck, and this is for me strictly for learning herbs, not for divination. Week 3, I worked with Tarot of Hearts by Isabel Hayes and the Mystical Shaman Oracle. With how large this box was, I was afraid that the cards were going to be oracle size, and luckily they were not. I love that it's edged in this yellow. I love this chunky book. It's so heavy. I love a nice heavy chunky book. Here are the backs. This is another stunningly beautiful, vibrant deck. This Empress is gorgeous. I love this Fool too. The rainbow and the book and his keys and film. So all the art's represented here. This kind of, it's like a rose, but it looks kind of like it could be a paintbrush. The waves that also kind of look like mountains, the sun, the sky. Just so beautiful. These cards are also linen. I love linen cards. This book is phenomenal. So we have dedication, introduction, upright and reverse cards, the major, the minor, the heart spread, with gratitude, and meet Isabel. So we have intro. So I'm going to skip the first paragraph and go to the second paragraph. Welcome to the Tarot of Hearts. The title of this deck is a combination of two of my favorite words, heart and arts. Art should come from the heart, so I blended the two words into one, hearts. The result is a colorful odyssey filled with fantasy and hidden art elements just waiting to be discovered. The symbolism in this tarot follows the Rider-Waite-Smith system. The Odyssey begins when the Fool, a daredevil full of charm, makes his grand entrance, bringing along a collage of colorful artistic tricks and treats. This mystical show consists of 79 well-rehearsed artists, including an extra lover's card, who have traveled around the world as a happy family. We have then upright and reversed. So upright is like an open heart, and then reversed is closed heart, which I really like that. And then we have this whole like little story, and then the heart speaks, and then keywords, and then we have a quote. Now, when you go to the minors, it's the same. You have about the card. The heart speaks, keywords, and then a quote. Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time. Jean-Michel Basquiat, American painter, 1960 to 1988. And then here's Meet Isabel. So honestly, guys, I thought this was going to be an easy month. I thought the B Tarot was going to win this month, hands down. Like, I started out strong, and then Tarot of Hearts came along, and whew, I tell ya, this deck blew me away. Just absolutely blew me away. Oh, sorry guys. It's so hard to see. So I love this deck. I love that it represents art and artists, writers, painters, filmmakers, magicians, performers, dancers. I love the book. The book is chunky, really heavy, full color, really wonderful descriptions, bringing it all together. So it's going to be difficult. What will be the deck of the month? I am not sure. And then I use this Mystical Shaman Oracle deck and guidebook, which I don't love the packaging. I really take issue with this packaging. Whoever decided to use this much packaging and waste with a shaman deck where it's supposed to be about conserving nature really needs a speaking to. Pet peeve, pet peeve, pet peeve. They could have saved money and not used so much cardboard and paper. All right, these cards, here's the backs. Very cardboardy, very thick, and they have like a weird, they're really soft, but like the coating that's on it, it sticks. It's very sticky. So it doesn't make shuffling this very fun. That's for sure. The book is okay. So we have a message from the authors, introduction, how to work with a deck, and then we go right in, and then about the artist and the authors. So this is not in full color. You have a picture of the card, and then the essence, the invitation, and the medicine. So we'll just read this one, and was this last card I put down. So the essence, unification, interconnectedness, a sense of continuum is what this card implies. The circle reminds us we are all one, dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycles of life and the evolving self, ever-changing and always connected, human spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. The invitation. When the circle appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you can know. Stay the course, keep dancing, and all will be well. The medicine. When the circle comes as your medicine, you're meant to come to an understanding of the importance of decay, of letting go, the importance of dying to an old form and being reborn anew. If you are faced with the challenge of loss or disappointment, remember this. In the circle of life, nothing is ever wasted. Love will seek itself again. Prosperity will come from a new idea or opportunity, and spirit always waits for you to find your place in the dance again. So the book is okay. It's not my favorite book. It's not the worst, but it's not my favorite. Let's see. Their other deck by the same authors, The Shaman's Dream, I like even less. I mean, I like the boxing better, the packaging better. I mean, because it's less bulky and it doesn't have as much waste. I think the cards in this one are more vibrant. Here it's more earthy. In the Mystical Shaman, the cards are more earthy colors, and this one is more vibrant. The cards also don't stick. They're still very cardboardy. So see, very similar, but this has that, oh, I hate it. And then this is more cardboard. So you can hear it, like, I prefer this cardstock to this one. The colors in the Shaman's Dream, much more vibrant. I mean, look at this. That's so vibrant, the Eye of the Needle. But my only problem with this one is I don't love this book. I think it leaves a lot to be wanted. So let's look at the Feast of Plenty. So it says options, choices, and their consequences, life's blessings. A great feast is laid out before you and requires you to choose what will satisfy your hunger, something new and unconventional with its potential for bitter or savory qualities, or something you already know you love. You are faced with a plethora of options right now, and while that may seem to be an extraordinary thing, too many choices can throw you off balance. You might be worried that once you commit, you won't be able to turn back or refuse to confront the consequences of that decision. The most important thing to realize is that the feast is offering you experience. No amount of overanalyzing or strategizing will help you make the right choice now. Don't debate the right or wrongness. Instead, just choose. In the choosing is the seed of experience, and that is what is necessary now. Sour, bitter, sweet, savory. What matters is relishing the experience until you digest all that your choice is offering you right now. Only one warning: avoid the same choice if it keeps you hungry. If something didn't feel good or does not bring you what it seemingly promised, do not choose that again. The experience will only repeat itself, and you will have more than a bad taste in your mouth. The feast is yours to enjoy. You can always go back for more when you're hungry again, for life's blessings are ever available to you and calling your name. So I don't like the book of the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I prefer this cardstock so much to the Mystical Shaman. I prefer the colors as well. It's very matte, but it's way more vibrant. I would suggest, if you do like this Mystical Shaman Oracle, to get the mini size. My husband has that one, and it's much, much better. The card stock quality is better. It's more manageable and less packaging. I adore Hay House, but this was just a wrong move for them. I may keep this a little longer, play with it a little bit more, but I think this deck is going to be rehomed soon. It's just I'm not feeling it. This one as well, same thing. It's okay. It's not my favorite though. There are way better Hay House decks out there. Neither one of these decks would be in my top 5, top 10, or top 20 decks. And the final week, I worked with the Gill Tarot by Elizabeth Josephine Gill and the Magical Spirit Oracle. So I just did a full walkthrough of the Gill Tarot. I will link that above. This is a Thoth-inspired deck rather than a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. So there are the keywords. And the cards are pretty pippish for the minor arcana. But I like how there's keywords even for the court cards. I love this imagination card with the dragon. I will say the little white book that comes with it is trash. Here are the backs. I am not impressed by this little white book. It gives no info. I actually used the guidebook to the Tarot of Hearts when using this. So we have introduction, the structure of the Gill Tarot. We have the Gill Tarot layout, which I still have to try. And then we go into the major arcana. So I'll read to you what it says. The Fool is a symbolic picture of the divine spark, the ancient child soul of man. He is shown before the fall into manifestation, playing with the symbols of the elements as if they were toys. Divinatory meaning. In number 1 position, the subject's evolutionary journey through life. In position 10, the folly of proceeding on a course of action while ignoring the likely pitfalls. The nature of folly and wisdom, frankness, innocence. So the majors aren't bad. It's when you get into the minor arcana. So like 10 of Swords, desolation. The wasteland symbolizes the eventual outcome of all man's efforts at building permanent systems and structures. The crushing wheel is held by the spokes of inward turning swords, which represent the hope of a new understanding and direction hidden within devastation. The stone number 1 is cracked to show humanity's incomplete understanding of the one principle which precedes all things. Yeah, this little book leaves a lot to be desired. But I do like the cards. I like the images. I like the colors. I like the keywords. It's very helpful to have keywords on every card. And it does allow you to tap into your intuition. So if you want a deck to help you build your intuition, this, if you like the artwork of this better than the Thoth, then I say go for it. Like this, or if you want to learn the Thoth system, I would pick up a book on the Thoth and read that book for divinatory meanings, rather than the little white book that comes with this one. And the oracle I worked with was Magical Spirits Oracle, The Brilliance of You by Alexis Racon. Trust yourself. Get the sun. So these are gilded in gold, which is really nice in the backs. The cardstock is cardboardy, but it doesn't have any weird covering over. It's matte. They're smooth. The gill is a little bit wider than normal tarot cards, but I would say this Magic of You is like a normal oracle size. Shuffling isn't too bad. So we have the sun that's like in the box. Be patient, it will come. Manifestation power. And then it has 1111. Flower child. You have writing on the book, and then you have the keywords. Momentum, creativity, and action. It's time to leave the old behind. Rebirth. Shedding the chrysalis, taking risks. Don't worry, darling. You'll find your way. The red rose, overcoming obstacles, finding joy, carefree. Growing pains, healing, patience, unconscious. It's time to come home. Goddess of the sea, abundance, purification, ego. I love the colors. I love the little mantra. I think these cards are gorgeous. I featured this in my 60s and 70s inspired decks. Just because of the colors and the artwork, it feels very like 60s and 70s to me. We have introduction about the cards, reading the cards, the 4 elements, affirmation spell, manifestation enhancer. So we have fire cards, earth cards, air cards, water cards, and then about the creatrix. Welcome, seeker of soul. It seems you have felt a calling toward these cards, and perhaps you have arrived in the right place at the right time. Allow this booklet to be your guide as you become familiar with your oracle deck, your new magical aid when you are most in need. These cards are meant to be used as a tool of divination, so deepen your connection with your own magic and spirit itself, the all, the everything, that which you also are, to help you see and remember that eternal force of consciousness that lives within you and all around you. To start you on your journey, I offer you a gift in this form of a prayer or spell. May this oracle deck bring you a continued and abundant amount of inspiration. May it assist you when you seek further clarity. May it help you show you the way when you feel you are lost. May it remind you that your power is already within. Bless the holder of these cards. I like all these little details in the book with the butterflies. More butterflies. The book, affirmation spell, manifestation enhancer, fire cards. So you have the card, the keywords, an affirmation, and then a little bit more, and then manifestation enhancer. Let's read the goddess of the sea. Abundance, purification, ego, treasures. Affirmation spell. I am coming home to where my soul calls me. The fisherman has been on a long and challenging journey. He has been casting his net for fish, but the fish do not come. His soul is starving, and he longs for more. Suddenly he sees a shining light in the distance, a soft purple glow that he decides to follow. He is led to the goddess of the sea, her ruling element being the forces and symbology of water. Her purpose is to help us remember where the real treasures are. She can show you what it is you need, not just what you want. And if you are willing to know, she can show you what is soul versus ego. She takes you beyond your false needs and false self. She shows you a world of true spiritual abundance. The fisherman symbolizes the ego and its endless desire for hunger for more. Yet he is searching in the wrong places, and it's never enough. He plunders the sea and gets lost in its vast expanses. After all his searching for more, he has never felt less, small, insignificant, empty, even though an abundant sea lies beneath him and all around him. The goddess of the sea dissolves everything that is not true or rooted in soul. This can be painful, as we all have our vices. She is powerful and represents the endless abundance of water, its purification power, and its cleansing it can bring. Pulling this card is affirmation of her awakening within you. You're starting to notice more of what is not true. You're realizing more often when you are casting a net for false treasure. The things that used to sparkle have become dull and undesirable. You feel called toward what is real for you. You're becoming less and less like the fisherman. This card can also be a sign to watch extra closely where you are fishing. The sea goddess calls you near and has much to show you. You are so close to her. It is time to come now. Release your net. You won't need it much longer. Manifestation enhancer. Reflect or journal on the fish you use to cast your net for. Acknowledge the false ego desires you no longer seek or catch. Appreciate the times you have chosen to come home instead. Reflect on anything now that feels misaligned for you or anything that doesn't seem to shine like it used to. This is your sign to let the net loose. So they shuffle so nicely. So it's like sometimes, you know, you can have a cardboardy type card and they shuffle nicely. And sometimes they just don't shuffle nice at all. Which tarot and oracle set do you think I will pick this month for the best? I thought that this month it was going to be hands down. I thought for sure it was going to be the B Tarot. But then, to my surprise, Tarot of Hearts came along. And I just, wow. I think that both of these are vastly different, but amazing. So I'm not picking just one this month. These two blew all the other decks out of the water, and it's going to be a tie for me. And these are going to be literally, I think, for the year, the two to beat so far. I think that these beat out all my other picks for previous months. Now for Oracle. For what it is, this is great. But this is more for you work with it for like a week or a month. So if I want a daily pull, sorry guys, I forgot to put all of them up. Just because the Heartcrafter Tarot for me is not for divination, and I wouldn't use this in professional settings. It's just to learn. This one is great if you want to learn the Thoth, and the images are beautiful, but the little white book leaves a lot to be desired. But I do want to play with it more, and I do enjoy this, but it's not the best deck. In terms of affirmations, this is cute. It's fun and playful. But if I had to go with an affirmation deck, I would go with the Magical Spirit Oracle, The Brilliance of You. I just really love this one. I love the artwork, the theme, the book, everything. This book is pretty good, but again, it's a lot, and I would need to do this weekly or monthly. The High Desert Oracle card, for what it is, I like the artwork and it's pretty, but it's okay. It's nothing exceptional. So I pick the Tarot of Hearts and B to tie for the tarot deck of the month, and the Magical Spirit Oracle as the oracle deck of the month. Which deck was your favorite? Please let me know in the comments down below. I really enjoyed watching these channels and their content, and it's fun to be part of the community and doing VRs and watching everyone and supporting each other's channels. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Have fun and keep on shuffling. Bye.